when I'm working on the music, I'm solely concerned with each song as a little story, and it's only just toward the end you put them all together that you're aware of what is the difference between this album to any other previous album.
I think with anything creative, you try everything. You don't throw things out, just, you try everything and you find out what gives you the best creative result.
It's very difficult to be the audience to the music, so the only way you can do that is by taking a piece of music and working on it for a while, and then leaving that for a little while, set it aside, try and forget about it, and then sort of write a next melody and concentrate on that. So therefore when you go back to the first one, for a short time you can be a listener and you can decide, this is working, this is not working. It's something that is there for life when you record the music, and you want it to be something that you're happy with. If we use African drums, if we use strings, pizzicato, if we use uilleann pipes, it's because it's there to enhance the music. We're not kind of putting a stamp on just for the sake of it. It's really the music that's kind of being dictative here. It's kind of like, it likes this sound, so it's fine. And it's also like, one of the rules we like in the studio is we like to try any idea and to be very open, no matter how strange the idea might be. We'll try it.
They spend very long hours in the studio because both of them are perfectionists. So if something is not right, they will not use it, and they'll have to go over and over it again, basically. And it's a very long process because of the way it works, in the sense that when you hear Enya sing, every voice she sings individually, it's not sampled.
From the first moment I've written the melody, it's kind of like it takes me on this little journey. And even on the arrangement, it does that as well, because there's been a case where we've had a totally different arrangement, myself and Nick, and came back the next morning and said, no, this is not working. We felt like we were losing the sense of what the melody was about. So therefore we erased a lot of what was there and went back to arrange again. So there's a lot of trial and error within every song.
We don't actually start an album with a central theme. We don't have a theme for an album and say, this is what it's going to be about. It develops.
To where I can cross over, close to home, I cannot say, close to home, feeling so far away.
We're quite alike in the way we think about lyrics. With Nicholas, it's slightly different. He has a slightly different approach to lyrics than we would have. But certainly with Enya and myself, we think along the same lines.
I ruin everything. I mean, I remember once I actually stuck in one word into one of Roma's songs, and without realising it, I changed the whole meaning of the verse, and she's never forgiven me for it.
To a degree, a lot of the lyrics are based on emotion, the feeling of the moment, rather than an actual event or story. So Enya and myself will tune into that quite a bit, whereas Nicholas prefers a story. But I don't write that way. predominantly I will write in English, obviously, but Gaelic is very, very important to Enya. It's a living language for her. It's a language she uses a lot. She comes from an area in Ireland that Gaelic is the first language, and you learn English.
I think my inspirations would come from people that have passed on, memories of them, but it can also be landscapes. I come from the northwest of Ireland, County Donegal, and it's a very rural area, and mountainous, beaches, rushes, and it's somewhere I love to go. I feel just I need to get back to my roots, back to who I am, and there's nowhere better than to go home, because I find the people there know me as Enya, and they don't treat me any differently. They're proud of the success, but it's so lovely that they just talk to me as if I'd only just left yesterday, and that kind of keeps me very grounded, and that's very important to me. Something that I hope to do is to plan to put the music on stage, but it is something that has proven so far quite difficult.
She performed a lot years ago. She did tours around Europe and performed, so it's something that's in the blood basically, and she would like to do again.
I can hear orchestrating it, yes, but on the vocal side of it I find it's got to be in some way that it's trying to get that emotional feeling.
A lot of the stuff you hear from Enya is multivocal, which she does herself, so someone will have to do that. So it will obviously require a choir and probably a small orchestra, I would imagine.
To go on stage and there's an audience there just solely for you, would be so wonderful.
It's the one thing I'd say about Enya, she doesn't let it go to her head. She's still very down to earth. She's great fun, she's a great sense of humour. I think that's all part of the secret, really, of the success.
There's nothing I would change. I'm really, really happy with where I am today.